Hello Whiskey Revelers, welcome to WhiskyWhistle. I'm your host Mark, and this is Whiskey Review number 122. 22? I believe so, 122. Today we're looking at something from the Chivas Brothers, which is Royal Salute, 21-year-old. Really excited about this. I haven't done that many older single malts or blended Scotch whiskies or whiskies period yet, so very excited about that. Also, I'm quite excited as, I tried this at the airport going to, where was I going? I was going somewhere, where was I going? I can't remember, but anyway, I tried it at the airport and it was just a small mouthful. But what an influential mouthful. It was instantly converted to a fan of this brand, a Royal Salute from Chivas Brothers. So, largely the same makeup as the Chivas whiskeys. Okay, so the 12-year-old or the 18-year-old, there's some similarities, but it is certainly, we'll call it a supercharged version thereof. This is the red one, I should say. Let me show it, bring it up close to you so you know that it's the real thing. Royal Salute 21-year-old. There you go, in all its glory. This one cost me $25. Again, quite steep, but that's better than putting out, how about $150 for the full bottle, in my opinion. I mean, for the reviews. I probably will eventually buy a bottle of this for my stash at some point, but for now this is what I've got. And isn't that nice? A nice little cork there. Isn't that great? This is a flagon. This is porcelain. It's not glass, so that's another sort of element of elegance to it. And we'll pour roughly about half of this. So we'll go for about 25 milliliters. Nice golden hue. Now, what I remember about this is that very high malt content, and again, just a perfect balance of sweetness, tartness, and dryness to it. So let's see if that holds true here today. I've done quite a few. Well, I guess three Chivas Brothers reviews so far. So you can check those out. I'll put links to them on the channel here, right on this review, towards the end of this one. And, well, personally, I think if you can afford this, I would say this is a nice step up from the Chivas 18, according to my memory. Although now they have the Chivas 25-year-old out there as well. So that's quite something that you should at least be able to try it if you can. Okay, let's get on to the nosing. We'll check out the nose, how it smells. We'll check out the palate, how it tastes. We'll see how the aftertaste is. That's called the finish. And then we'll talk about the score for this whiskey. All right? And before we get started with that, we'll have a very short advertisement here right now. Welcome back. Chivas, this is Chivas Royal Salute 21-year-old. Now, it's already really fragrant. I can smell it from here. And I'm salivating because it's quite nice. So let's see how that is now. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? For a blended Scotch whiskey, this is just unreal. And again, for something that's not heavily peated, there's not a lot of peat, if at all, in this whiskey. Smokiness is not the forte of Chivas or Royal Salute. So just be aware, if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it here. What you will find is something like the best of Speyside. Oh my. Citrus and tree fruits and some leathery notes in there. Some tropical fruits. This is so juicy. And the grain whiskey, which could be as much as half, I really don't know. Even though there is, let's say, roughly half grain whiskey in this, even the grain whiskey is outstanding because it's been sitting in excellent, obviously excellent casks for 21 or more years. In fact, probably they went with an older grain whiskey because that's not as costly as the malt whiskeys. So they may have gone with 25 or maybe even 30-year-old grain whiskeys blended into this to kind of add the backbone to it. Now, if you do know about that, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear exactly what the components are and in what quantities, although I doubt that that's been made public because that's kind of like a trade secret. Oh, just gorgeous. Now, the home of Royal Salute is Strathisla Distillery, the same as the Chivas blends. And I'm going to use my old iPhone to tell you a little bit about that. This is straight from Wikipedia. So, Royal Salute is a brand of Scotch whiskey produced by Chivas Brothers, owned by Pernod Ricard, founded in 1801 in Aberdeen, Scotland. The Royal Salute's brand's home is in Strathisla Distillery in Keith Moray in Speyside. This was launched in 1953 on June the 2nd as a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II on the day of her coronation. Very cool. Named after the traditional 21-gun salute. Royal Salute whiskey is aged for a minimum of 21 years. And the history, we already talked about that. This was followed in 2002 by a 50-year-old that they released. The 100 Cask Selection, 2004. Stone of Destiny, 2005. 62 Gun Salute, 2010. And a bottle that was decorated by the jewelers Gerard was launched in 2010. Most recently was the Diamond Jubilee for the Queen in 2012, which commemorated the 60th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. So that's pretty cool. All right, on to the tasting. Cheers. Buttery smooth. Perfect mix of grain and malt. So juicy, so buttery. The finish has some tropical fruits, some pineapple. But again, imagine pineapple drizzled in butter and just a quick flash in the pan, kind of a grill on both sides. The grain is impeccable. I would love to try whatever the green whiskey is in there. I would love to try that on its own because I bet it would be fabulous. It's an interesting mix of both tropical fruits and domestic fruits, apples and peaches. but also mango and pineapple. There's a bit of banana in there. And almost like flambe, so a little bit of that caramelized fruit flavors coming through. Vanilla is constant throughout this. Quite soft on the palate. I would have liked this at 43%. It's 40%, I do believe. It's really hard to find. Yeah, 40%. 43, this would have been kick-ass. By far my favorite of the whole range. Now, according to my palate, this is not the one that I tasted at the airport. That must have been a slightly different variation on this. I can't remember if it was the red. I mean, they offer the same 21-year-old in a different variety of colors, but the actual whiskey is the same. I must have tried something slightly different than this, because I recall it being a little bit more tart. This one is like perfectly ripe peaches, perfectly ripe pineapple, perfectly ripe mango, all mixed together in a nice fruit salad, with just a hint of 7-Up, that kind of citrus added in to fill out the fruit salad, and then add a few drops of vanilla, and that's what you've got here. The finish, fruit and vanilla, just beautifully intertwined, and they just carry on and on. That hint of that sort of aged leathery note also, which I really like, that just is coming back over and over here. The nose, the taste, and the finish. What an outstanding whiskey. What an outstanding Scotch. If you happen to be a single malt only Scotch drinker, you've got to try this. 21-year-old, over here in Korea, you can get this for about 150,000 won at Costco, maybe a little bit more at other outlets. Little bit, well, no, at the duty free you get the liter for about the same, so that's quite the savings. I would imagine in USA this is probably at about $100 or maybe just above. Canada also, I think, at least in Winnipeg, if memory serves correct, something like 180-ish. Not quite $200 though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you think about it, a 21-year-old for that price, fabulous. And this is better than some single malts at 21-year-old that I've ever had. And I've had a couple, and this is on par with one of my favorite 25-year-olds, which is in this, in my collection of whiskey reviews, which you can find. I didn't add any water. Let me add just a little bit. And we'll see what happens here. Now I don't have much left here. I just added a few drops. But now you're getting a little bit more of the tartness coming through. Oh. It gets a little bit tartar. A little more tart with water added. Interesting. Cheers. This is just fabulous. Oh, the tropical fruits in there. Incredible. Well, okay, so this is something that you need to try. And I don't care if you say no to blends. Just try one. Just go and buy a bottle. Buy a full bottle. You will thank me. And if I'm wrong, then you can leave me all sorts of nasty comments on this review, and you can tweet about it. Mark's crazy. Mark's nuts. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. And go and get some. Go and try it at a bar if they've got it on hand. It won't be cheap at 21 years old, but probably less than what I paid at $25. I don't think that's going to be $25 at an American bar. Maybe 15, maybe 18. Canada, maybe $20 for an ounce, but well worth it, I would say. Okay, so the Whiskey Whistle score for this one, goodness sakes, what am I going to give this? This is going to be 92 out of 100 for Royal Salute 21-year-old. I would probably put this up a lot higher, if this were 43%. 43 would be just, I'm sure that would be just incredible. I'm ecstatic. I'm beside myself here. There's one other blended whiskey that I think is going to give this run for its money, and I'm going to show that to you very soon. So keep watching, because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind, and very soon. Okay? Take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Click the link right down there in the corner, and be sure to tune in next time. Leave a comment, share it with your friends, and tell everybody, because something incredible is going to hit this channel. Okay? I'm just so excited about it. I'm almost as excited about that as I am about this. And I'm babbling, so I'm going to say goodbye now.